champion on the program here at Regan's Corner. What's new, Kristen? What's new?
Yeah,
Christine, what's new?
Yep, I just moved into my summer house for the summer team for this summer.
Nice. Okay, so how's the summer team kind of going, and how is it kind of different from the previous years in Florida?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. So I'm for the Indy 11 women's team this summer, and it's an incredible collection of players from all around the country, and even internationally as well. So I'm really excited to start practicing with them tonight. Our first game is Friday, and it's also made up of a lot of my former teammates from my youth club team. So I'm excited to see everyone again and get to play with them.
Absolutely. So, kind of going back into how everything kind of started here, Christine, for you, how did you start in soccer?
Yeah, so I guess I've soccer. I just love the competition of soccer. I love going at people 1v1 and trying to score goals. That's always been so much fun. And I also just love how there's always something to work on. You're like never bored. You could always go out to the field and there's always something to work on, whether it's fitness, dribbling, shooting, and also just getting people together to go out and practice on your own or in small groups. Like everyone's always willing to do that. And I've built so many great relationships with teammates and now like my best friends over the years just from all those days that we go out and do those extra training and everything. So I just love soccer so much. I want to keep playing it after college if I can and for as long as I can.
Absolutely. So, what are some things kind of when you're growing up that kind of led you into thinking, oh, I can go Division One, I can play at a Florida State, and then eventually now you're playing at Notre Dame when they have one of the best histories, as you know, from going there numerous times in your youth.
Yeah, I would say the number one thing is you just have to the number of hours that you have to put in outside of normal training. People won't do that if you just don't love the game. First of all, like you have to enjoy what you're doing, and that'll kind of push you to go out and do. So that's definitely the first thing. Second, just being willing to go and put in those extra hours, or whether it's being the first one to practice or the last one to leave. I think that's definitely something that kind of got me to where I am today. And then, also just kind of surrounding yourself with people that will challenge you, like going out and finding the best teams around you to train with. If there isn't any, maybe going and training with some of the guys' teams, constantly looking for people to push you and challenge you to be the best.
For sure. Just trying to be the best that you can be. So let's kind of go into the recruitment process. So, how young were you when you started getting recruited and started getting the D1 offers?
Yeah, so it was back when I was being recruited. There wasn't any rules. I think now you have to wait until you're a junior in high school to even start talking with coaches. But what I did, I invited coaches to all my games. So I played. I'm from Granger, Indiana, but I would drive to Indianapolis to play for a team down there. And we went to a lot of showcases where a ton of coaches came and watched. So I would email the coaches schedule and reach out to them after the games to kind of follow up, hear their thoughts, and also going to summer camps for the teams that I was most interested in to start building relationships with the coaches and players. So that was a big thing. But I think it kind of came down to I think I wanted to go somewhere warm and had palm trees. So that was, I guess, where the Florida State kind of came in. And after meeting the coaching staff there and seeing who they had and where the program was going, a huge goal of mine was to win a national championship. And I knew just looking at that program that that was the place to be if I wanted to achieve that goal. So that's why I chose Florida State originally.
So, what are some of the other schools in the recruitment process that you're looking at in Florida State?
Yeah, so I guess the first time it came down to Florida State and Notre Dame, but I think just FSU just had an academic program I was looking for, and the coaching staff was just incredible, and I knew some of the players that were going there, and I just got along with them really well. And I think to play your best, you have to be surrounded by players and coaches that can bring out the best in you. And I just knew after my visit, like everyone just says, you'll kind of know like if you're in the right place, like if it feels like home. And I definitely got that feeling when I was at Florida State.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your absolutely brilliant, legendary career.
Yeah, sorry, you froze there. What was the question again? Sorry.
So what? Let's talk about your legendary career at Penn High School. You break so many records in soccer.
Yeah, I was so thankful for my time at Penn. We had an incredible team. All of that, all of those awards, like none of that would have happened without my teammates. Just, I'm pretty sure the majority of our starting lineup all went to Division I schools to play in college, and we just had incredible coaching that brought it out the best in all of us and helped us get to those state championships. So I guess none of that would have happened without the people that I was surrounded with, and I was just so fortunate to have been able to be a part of the program and be able to play alongside some really incredible people.
Absolutely. Looking at the numbers and everything, it's just amazing what you did at Penn High School and everything. So, what was it like stepping on Florida State's campus, and how much did you have to adjust with that heat? Because, as you know, being a Northwest Indiana native, it goes up and down.
Yeah. So I guess when I got to Florida State, all of a sudden I was surrounded by some of the best players in the country and even the world. We had a very, I guess, diverse team with a lot of international players that were all national team players for their country and big name stars from everywhere around the world. So it was for. I think one of the reasons I've gotten to where I am today is because you just challenge yourself by surrounding yourself with incredible. And that's exactly what I stepped into when I got to Florida State. It was just so competitive. Each day out at practice, we all pushed each other to be the best that we could be. So that was huge for development, I guess, the past 4 years. And also the success we had as a team, not only like were we talented, but we all got along so well. And that's just so important for winning championships is just the off the field chemistry. Um, and we definitely had that. Um, but yeah, it was awesome and very challenging environment to be in.
I bet. So, what was kind of the adjustment period that you had going against high level talent that you faced in the ACC in practice, being in one of the best programs for women's soccer with Florida State?
Yeah, it definitely helped us out a lot. So in the ACC, like the majority of our games, just our style of play, we ended up having the ball the majority of the time. So we just kind of would play our style of play and keep the ball. And a lot of times teams would sit back on us, which would make it really challenging, I guess, to put the ball in the goal. But it was, again, a fun challenge, and we had to really be creative in opening up back lines to kind of create space to score goals. But yeah, just going against the caliber of players that my team had every single day definitely made it a nice transition to play in the ACC. Um, like I was used to going up against like in practice the best back line in the country, and then translating that onto the field for real games. It definitely helped me out a lot.
Absolutely. Got to play against the best to be the best. So, what was it like winning your first national championship?
Yeah, so that was an interesting story. So leading up to that game, I started and played the majority of the games, and then during the NCAA I guess I got kind of tackled from the side and ended up tearing my ACL. So I wasn't able to play in the national championship, unfortunately. But I got to play in all the games, the ACC tournament, everything leading up to that. So my role definitely changed for those last couple games. Definitely had to learn to be a leader from the sideline and be able to help coach my teammates, help encourage them during the games. So I guess it was a very difficult time for me personally, like going through that injury. But I guess in the end, to win a national championship at the end of the season definitely kind of made all that worthwhile. And it was just such an incredible experience to be a part of.
Absolutely. Kind of talking about with the championship, with this and that, not being able to play at the pinnacle after having amazing freshman or sophomore year that you had during the year that you won a national championship in, and then being hurt just that game before. What is kind of the mental aspect to get back into? I'm still here. I'm still starting on one of the best programs and stuff like that. And how long does it take you with an injury like that to get back on the mental side of things? Because working all your life for this, and then one slide kick or things takes your knees out and stuff like that, and you can't play in the national championship game.
Yeah, I would say the mental side of it was definitely the most difficult part. But just staying focused, like we had a goal from the very beginning of the year that we wanted to win a national championship. And even though I couldn't physically be out there to help my team, you just kind of have to have that mindset that you got to do whatever it is that you can do from the sideline, I guess, to help achieve that goal. And then I guess coming back from that after, so for the next season, it was very challenging mentally to try to get back to where I was before. But I just kind of took that same mindset that I do, whether I was healthy and able to train, just putting in those extra hours, whether like for if I could train, I'd go out to practice and do as much as I can extra on my own. I took that same mentality to the rehab that I had to do. So for physical therapy, I was always asking for extra exercises to do and just take any type of precaution I could to help me get back on the field faster.
Absolutely. Um, so after the rehab and everything like that, the following year, how was the kind of adjustment of playing with having a major injury like that? Was it still in the back of your mind the year after?
Yeah, especially with those contact injuries, anytime I would like run up to someone to try to defend, it almost seemed like at the beginning I would just get replays over and over in my head of someone just coming in and like kind of doing a dirty tackle. And so that definitely was in my head for a while, but you just kind of have to push through that. And then you start slowly forgetting about it. And now I don't even think about it when I play. So it just takes time and just being brave to go back out there and trust that you did the rehab, like you're functionally like strong and everything's intact, and you just have to be brave and push through those first few months of the mental side of things.
Absolutely. So, second natty, okay, girl. It's not too often an athlete wins two national championships while they're in school, but you're in that exclusive club, okay? So, talk about the second national championship, the most recent one.
Yeah, that one was really exciting. So I guess not being the first one, the second one was really special. And just kind of then having a new role, I guess, is being on the field and just giving it everything you have. Just knowing that it's the final 90 minutes, or I guess if there's overtime more, which we did go into overtime, but just giving it every single ounce that you have and knowing that you literally spent the entire past year preparing for that moment and just, yeah, laying it all on the field and doing your best. So that was definitely really exciting a part of. It was very stressful there at the end. We went into PKs, but we start practicing PKs from the very beginning of the year. So I think we all were very confident that everyone would step up and make their PK. And we were ready for that moment because I guess the year before we did make it to the national championship and lost in PKs. So everybody had that in the back of their mind and didn't want to let that happen again. So we were all really motivated and ready for the game.
Absolutely. And just a tootly looly, you guys winning the national championship this year, and then you going to your hometown after winning a natty. Is there room for enough national championships for an Irish this year? For you coming home here?
Ooh, yeah. I think so. There's definitely room. I have another finger available, so hopefully we can see this fall.
Absolutely. So how is that, even though the Irish were recruiting you heavily before you choose Florida State, but to kind of go full circle here after going to the camps, going to all that to now, last year with soccer, playing in your hometown, basically, for one of the most historic programs in women's soccer and one of the most historic campuses in the country, almost Hogwarts like in Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So I grew up watching all the Notre Dame soccer games. I had all my birthday parties there, and always dreamt of one day being able to play on that field and kind of wear the Irish jersey. So when we got this extra COVID year, I think it was just such an incredible opportunity to just go back home and be able to finish out kind of my college soccer career where it all started, in front of the community I grew up in and have supported me so much over the years. So I'm so excited to go back home and do everything I can to help Notre Dame have a great season in the fall.
Absolutely. And we will be absolutely in your corner, because we love having any Irish athlete on the program because we're big Irish fans here at Regan's Corner. And for what's your going to be your number at Notre Dame?
That's a great question. We're still trying to figure that out. I'm typically anything with a 4 in it. I was number 4 for state. I was 24 in high school, so I've always said like something with a 4 in it. But I think I have a call later today with the coaches to try to get all that figured out.
Absolutely. So, what is like one of your superstitions going out to the field?
Ooh, that's a good one. I guess a lot of people do this, but I always put my right shoe on first. And I can't touch the left foot without touching my right foot first, which is really weird. Like if my left shoe, like shoelace comes undone, I can't touch that shoe until I at least like pull the shoelace or something, at least touch my right foot before my left, which is really weird. I don't know why I do it, but just kind of a weird little thing I do.
Hey, I mean, that's okay. Our director actually has before she swims at Notre Dame, for like our athletes and stuff like that, she has a leprechaun and she just kind of pats it and then goes and does her business after with the swimming, stuff like that. So, I mean, we have all in Regan's Corner superstitions and stuff like that. So, right foot. So, you have to be like, so does that ever like change during a soccer meet, or if it's just boom, 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 boom?
Yeah, it doesn't change. I don't think I've ever touched the left foot before the right.
Okay. So with the NIL deals, how did that help you last year versus the 3 years that you didn't have it?
Yeah. I think it really brought us closer with maybe the community. I know that the majority of the ones I did were with local businesses, restaurants, businesses, anything like that. And it really just kind of brought everyone closer together and kind of helped us as athletes kind of figure out like what we like, what we stand for, and what we want to promote. So that was kind of an interesting thing to kind of like reflect on yourself and kind of figure out your own personal brand and how you want to build that. But yeah, I just say like bringing everyone kind of closer.
Okay. kind of close together. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we have this segment at the end called the hot corner. Then we're going to just throw rapid questions at you to get you to know you a little bit better for the first interview. Um, so, what is your go-to meal?
Go-to meal. Oh boy. I'd probably say I'm pretty basic. I like mac and cheese.
Ooh, who doesn't like a mac and cheese, girl? Who doesn't like that?
Uh,
Okay, so what is your favorite sports movie of all time?
Sports movie. Oh boy. I'm trying to think. I like there's been a lot of good football ones. The Blind Side is a good one. Um, but yeah, there was a golf one. I love golf. That's something I've recently got into. I think it was called The Greatest Game Ever Played. That one was a really good one. But yeah, those are two good ones. I usually don't have a lot of time for movies though, so that's a tough one.
It is a tough one, but they're two good movies. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
have The Blind Side, which is a very good movie about Michael Orr, and then you have Matt Damon with, I believe that's the one you're thinking, or with Shia LaBeouf.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of two different golf movies there. Um, but anyway, both really good movies. So, what are some goals on the field this year and off of this field this coming year for you?
Yeah, on the field, I just want to do everything I can to help the team win games. Something I really love about this Notre Dame team is they're very aggressive in the attack. Their wing players, which is the position I usually play, are typically very aggressive and like to go 1v1 at people. So I'm just excited to try to do that a lot, get to the end line, get a lot of crosses in, and create opportunities for my teammates to score goals. Um, and so, yeah, so I guess just ultimately doing whatever I can to help the team win. And then I guess off the field, um, I was involved in a lot of community service, I guess, at Florida State. Just, I guess you build a lot of really cool relationships with a lot of different organizations and people. And I would just love to continue that at Notre Dame, especially with how much the community supports the team. It's just really rewarding to be able to give back to the community as well.
Absolutely, giving back to high schools students like you were with camps and stuff like that, coming full circle. So, how is that kind of feeling back to Notre Dame and possibly the same things your idols did? Because you said you watched numerous soccer games and then you went to camps and stuff like that. So, you must have had one favorite player growing up.
Yeah. Um, I guess I was really, really little. I did a lot of the soccer camps where both the men's and women's team kind of helped out. And there's a player called, I don't know, I haven't really followed up where he is now or what he's doing, but we called him Yoshi. And he always just like, I think I went out on the field with him and we all like waved to the crowd. And there's a few like little like games on the side he'd play with me. He'd like set up a cone. He's like, if you can hit that cone, I'll give you the penny. And like just being a little kid, like I think I ended up hitting it. So like he gave me like one of those pennies that you wear like when you have two separate teams, you get the penny. And I think I still have that in my room that I've just kept all these years. But yeah, but there's been so many incredible players that I've gotten to watch and really cool goals I've seen. So it'd be really cool to be able to be on the field and anybody watching those games, young kids in the stands, kind of being an inspiration or role model to those players as well.
Absolutely. And let's see here. What is the go-to snack, Kristen? Kristina, what is the go-to snack for you kind of before a game, before a practice, the kind of
Ooh, go-to snack. I don't know if coffee counts as a snack, but I do drink a lot of coffee. I spend way too much money on coffee. But let's see. I love, I guess those little Belvita crackers. That's a very popular treat or snack for a lot of the team.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. So, uh, yeah, I'm hopefully we can do this in person sometime. I loved having you on uh, here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. Hopefully, we have more shows. Thank you for coming on and telling your story because the story is always around the corner here at Regan's Corner Sports.
Thank you so much for having me.